We hunt piracy all across the galaxy.
Navigational feedback checks out. We're in the right place.
Seals are tight. We're docked.
About time you showed up. All right, I want to know what's going on. I've been trying to get Delgado's attention for, I don't know, 3 years now. And what do I get? Nothing but radio silence. Then out of nowhere, just when Neva and I are closing in on a huge score of our own, Delgado orders me to help you out. Oh, sure. First a tour, followed by a formal dinner at the captain's table. Let's get one thing straight. You're here for business, not for a vacation, so let's start by talking about Delgado's sudden olive branch. Because the only way to achieve a win is by agreeing to play the game in the first place. Worst case scenario, I don't make the fleet, but I end up a couple thousand credits richer. That's almost a win-win, don't you think? Well, I'll be damned. Someone from the fleet finally agrees with me about something. It's a goddamn miracle. So Neva's message said you were here for Dombrowski. Was that all she sent you here to do? Or was there something else you were sent here to steal? Don't play games with me. We both know pinging a message back and forth to the key is going to take longer than we have to do this job. We're supposed to be working together on every part of this. So, you gonna tell me what else you're here for or not? Okay. So why are you targeting a Gall Bank exec anyway? Not exactly your average Crimson Fleet prey. Why the interest? Merchant vessels, transport, supply convoys, mining settlements, you get the picture. But taking on a megacorp, that's a really big deal. Something the Crimson Fleet stayed away from in the past. Sounds to me like Delgado's either getting desperate, or this is leading to an even bigger score down the road. Oh, I see. We're playing this game now. Fine, fine. Well, you might as well turn around and hop back aboard your ship because you're not getting near Dombrowski without my help.
I don't see a way around a little quid pro quo.
Well, well, it appears we have a mind reader here. You're absolutely right. I don't want money. I want back into the Crimson Fleet. It's as simple as that. Of course I do. But who wants to settle for a one-time payout? I prefer to play the long game. You see, getting my ass back into the fleet means I regain access to Shinya Boss. And that's as good as an endless stream of credits. You'd better, or you're gonna have to find another Gal Bank executive. As long as Dombrowski's on the ship, he's all mine. Fine. You want to play it that way, and suit yourself. Dombrowski's a full-timer aboard the Siren of the Stars. Probably spends more time cruising the space lanes than actually working. Fortunately, the Siren is hosting the Terran Preservation Society charity gala. Larry won't be able to resist showing off his VIP clout. To get what you need, you're gonna have to attend the gala, talk to his fellow philanthropists, and dig up some dirt.
Looks like we got a party to crash. And I left my tux and tails in my other ship.
The event's a complete sham. Bunch of rich snobs getting together and throwing a party for themselves. These people couldn't give a damn about Terran preservation or any other charity for that matter. Someone with enough disposable income to afford a permanent six-figure cabin aboard one of Triton's finest spaceliners. Consider it similar to owning a luxury mobile vacation home. Plaything for the wealthy, you get the gist. Yeah, well, lucky for you, it's not black tie, so you'll be fine. This card will allow you to access the Starfield ballroom. If you need my help, I'll be relaxing in one of the upper-level lounges. Head inside and mingle with the crowd. No one likes Dombrowski, so they'll be more than happy to share his dirty secrets. He's a VIP executive, which means he either worked really, really hard using blood, sweat, and tears to make the arduous climb to the top, or he backstabbed, lied, cheated, and betrayed his way up the corporate ladder. From what I've heard, it's the second option. Well, you better learn quick. Oh, there's one last thing. Trident equips all of their starliners with the latest acoustic threat detection. Meaning that you lose patience and kill anyone aboard the ship, security will be alerted and all hell will break loose. Anyway, I suppose that's enough to get you started. Good luck. You seriously need to ask. Okay, I'll give you two reasons. First, Gold Bank protects their own. Kill Dombrowski, and they send Ecliptic after every Crimson Fleet ship they can find. Not something Delgado wants, I suspect. And second, you offer GalBank employee in every single GalBank facility in the settled systems will triple their security. I'm gonna guess that won't help with whatever your plans are regarding GalBank, now will it? They claim their goal is to celebrate the soul of the Earth, the culture, the people, and the ideals of the past. In their minds, Earth is now dead, which is why they feel that preservation of its remaining aspects is so important. In reality, this is what happens when folks with far too much time and far too much money get together to make themselves feel like they're contributing to society. What the hell? When I asked you earlier, you said you weren't here for anything else. Not only did you lie to me, but now you're telling me that she sent you after the award alone? Yeah? And I suppose it's just a coincidence you happen to be asking me about the very thing Neva and I agreed to steal together. I can't believe she's trying to cut me out of this deal. Without me, the award never would have ended up here in the first place. I spent months manipulating the Terran Preservation Society into hosting their gala affair aboard the Siren of the Stars. I had to arrange the event to make sure that the award was aboard the ship. Neva said she'd do the rest. When I got a message about Dubrovsky, I assumed she'd be tagging along to steal the award. But looks like she sent you in her place. She told you to hold that over my head, did she? Oh, that witch. Fine, I'll help. But you're doing all the legwork, and I'm still taking my cut of the payout. So tell me, what's the status of your plan? I once saw Neva strip down a UC security ship and sell the parts back to the UC through a shell company. If that doesn't put your concerns to rest, I don't know what will. Now tell me, what about the status of your plan? How can I help? Okay, then let me point you to the person in charge of the award. Her name's Sheila Holbrook, and you can probably find her in the Starfield ballroom. I'd press her to reveal where the award's hidden, and we can go from there. And if you're thinking of pulling the trigger on poor Miss Holbrook, remember that any gunfire is gonna set off the ship's alarms. As long as you remember that I'm getting paid my cut, I'll help you with anything you want. What's the status of your plan? Oh, and while you're at the gala, avoid the canapes. They're frozen, not fresh.
You're a guest of Captain Rokov, right? Welcome aboard.
Captain Rokov said you're allowed in any of the crew-specific areas.
What? You know that's illegal.
We have a range of excursions available at all of our destinations. All the details are in your packet.
We gotta defend the ship!
Please don't get caught.
remain in designated passenger areas at all times. Have a safe journey.
Is this important? I don't have a lot of time for idle nonsense. Yes, I'm extremely busy preparing for the award ceremony, so this better be important. Not at all. I was assured that this particular ship was outfitted with the absolute latest and cutting-edge security. I am completely confident that Trident Luxury Lines will keep all of us safe. Probably in a few days. I don't want the award transfer to actually occur until we're safely in orbit at our destination. Of course, if I keep getting interrupted, the ceremony might never take place at all. Yes, I am. Actually, I've been entrusted with the transfer of the award for the last 7 of its 9 years. Why do you ask? During my tenure? Oh, certainly not. There was an unfortunate incident where my predecessor attempted to sell the award to the highest bidder, but that was quickly resolved. Needless to say, they'll be spending the rest of their life in a UC prison. Well, the Earth Savior Award is one of a kind. The Blue Diamonds alone are irreplaceable. Since we can't produce a new award every year, it's instead passed from one recipient to the next. I supervise the transfer and make certain that there's ample security during transport and at the destination. Yes, it's quite marvelous, isn't it? Absolutely priceless. Alas, I'm afraid you'll just have to wait for the ceremony to see it in all its glory. It's far too valuable to be left anywhere else except the master safe located at the purser's office. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have much more important things on my agenda than to speak to the likes of you.
Hello. Are you a member of the Society? I certainly hope they decide to hold all future Society events aboard a Starliner. Have you tried the canopies? Horrid. Positively horrid. Let's put it this way. He's screwed over so many people, if he suddenly disappeared from the universe, I don't think anyone would miss him. It's for the Society's high rollers. If you don't have more than 8 figures in your account, I wouldn't even bother going after the award. It's critical that the Society keeps the memories of Earth alive in our hearts. I'm doing my part by attending this spectacular event. Nice to have met you.
An open bar would have been nice, but Trident's gouging us for every credit we've got. Quite a lovely starline. Yes, he's some kind of top dog over at Galbank. I heard you replaced someone that was caught running a fake loan scam. Benjamin Bayou of Neon won the award the first time it was presented, but he dropped out of the Society a couple of years back. I'm a silver member of the Society, but only 100,000 more credits, and I hit the gold tier. Enjoy the rest of the event.
That view. So, I heard he uses Galbank's VIP suite on the Siren of the Stars almost monthly. Does the man ever do any real work? That award is such a joke. It's for members of the Society to pat their own backs for spending the most money on the cause. The Society was founded about 8 years ago by Carl S.A. Worthington, a prominent businessman from New Atlantis. That's all then? Okay.
The Society chair has pleased to make your acquaintance. Dombrowski is married to some poor woman that he constantly leaves behind in New Atlantis when he goes on his business trips. Sheila Holbrook is chair of the award committee this year. The way she dotes over that glorified trophy, you'd think it was her own child. It is a shame that the Earth ended in such a sorry state, but I'm glad the Society has the nerve to do something about it. Don't forget to donate to the cause.
If you have any specific requests, please speak to one of the crew's attendants.
At the moment, Aurora isn't permitted on Trident Starliners, though we're working on having that change.
Here for business or pleasure? The considerable amounts of cash that Dombrowski donates is the only reason we allow him to attend society functions. Sheila Holbrook is chair of the award committee this year. The way she dotes over that glorified trophy, you'd think it was her own child. When you join, they send you a small chunk of rock from Earth itself. I keep mine on my desk. Well, that was boring.
Due to an unfortunate accident, we're halting our spacewalk experience for an undetermined amount of time.
I've done this particular cruise run several times, and I can assure you that the route is quite safe. In the event of a lockdown, remember to return to your cabin in a quiet and orderly fashion.
I'm sorry. I don't believe we've met. Do I know you? Well, of course you do. Everyone on the Siren knows who I am. I'm certain we've never been acquainted before, so I'll do you the courtesy of forewarning you about the impertinence that's to follow. When you approach me, I'd highly advise you to choose your words carefully. Otherwise, it's likely they will be your last. I think we're done here. Good day.
Have you tried the canapes? Hello? Are you a member of the Society? He's been spending a lot of time with Claudia Swist. Quality time, if you catch my meaning. I'm certain his wife doesn't know a thing about it. Sheila Holbrook is chair of the award committee this year. The way Not much, other than the fact that they Nice to have met you.
Quite a lovely Starliner. Nothing but the best for the Society, eh?
That view is absolutely spectacular, isn't it?
Don't forget to keep your Starview Pass handy at all times, or you won't.
Captain Rokoff is one of the most easygoing COs I've ever worked under. In fact, he doesn't act much like a captain.
You gotta admit, this is something else. So much obvious extravagance you could choke on.
Glad to have you aboard. Welcome to the Purser's office. I'm Chief Purser Murata. How can I be of assistance today? An excellent question. My responsibilities include all of the Siren's financial, customs, and commercial goods transfers. Honestly, I really enjoy the work. I get to meet people at every port of call instead of being constantly stuck below decks. Oh, absolutely! The safe is magnetically sealed and shielded with multiple layers of fully damage-resistant, vacuum-proof plating. In the unlikely event our vessel is boarded and the threat detection alarm is triggered, the safe will be permanently sealed until it reaches port. In the even more unlikely event this ship is destroyed, we can assure you that your loved ones will be able to recover your goods from the wreckage. So, as you can imagine, your property will be completely secure until you decide to retrieve them from our safe. I've only seen it briefly myself, but I can assure you that it's quite lovely. Unfortunately, the item is locked inside of our safe, which can only be accessed by presenting an appropriate claim ID. Is there anything else I can assist you with today? Well, if you change your mind, I'll be here. Have a wonderful trip. Don't forget to tell your friends how much you enjoy the cruise.
You did it. Yeah, wow. If people saw how good these people have it, it'd be a revolution.
Sorry, do I know you? Look, I think you're definitely confused here. I really don't have time to have a discussion with you. My partner's waiting for me. He's a very important man. His wife? Oh, for the love of God. I told Larry to keep his big mouth shut, but did he listen? No. He had to impress his friends and treat me like a trophy. Look, I've been in this business for a long time, and I know how this game works, so let's skip all the banter and get it over with. What's it gonna take to make us both happy? You're not very bright, are you? I'm a grade C3 exec at Galbang. That means my credentials get me into two places, the front door and the ladies' room. If that's all you really want, You're certainly welcome to them. If I give you dirt on that son of a bitch Dombrowski, all I'm doing is endangering myself. Why would I do that? Oh, god damn it. I knew this would happen. I told Gabe and Larry nothing good would come of this, but they didn't listen. All right, you've made your point. You know, this whole thing really pisses me off. Larry and I had the perfect scheme worth thousands of credits all worked out, and then he goes and flushes the whole thing down the toilet.
You know, if I had a credit for every time I heard a criminal say I had the perfect scheme all worked out, I'd be a damn millionaire.
Yeah, well, it was perfect. Foolproof. Until I trusted that asshole. I didn't know who the hell you were. For all I knew, you were working for Dombrowski. It's called playing it cool. You should try it sometime. I'm not gonna tell you. Let's just say that I'd be sent to prison for a long time if Galbank figured it out. Oh, angry isn't even the right word. The plan was solid. Larry got together with myself and this other guy, Gabriel Vera. He's some bigwig over at UC Security. I doctored the transactions, Larry wiped them off the system, and Vera kept the legal pressure off of us. We were scamming Galbank for months. It was going well until I discovered Larry was cheating everyone by changing each transaction in his favor before deleting them. Oh, I know he was using me. At the same time, he was saying how much he loved me. He was stringing me along and stabbing me in the back. I was going to confront him back on Jemison, but then he invited me on this little trip through the stars. All expenses paid, first-class accommodations, the works. I figured, why not wait until I've milked him for every credit he's spending before I drop the hammer? You won't do that. You're here because you've got some kind of side hustle in the works. If you wanted to blow the whistle, you would have boarded this ship with the authorities. I wish I had some. Maybe you should try talking to Gabriel Vera. He should be around here somewhere. If he doesn't want to cooperate, just mention my name. That should grab his attention. Good luck. You're gonna need it. What, are you writing a damn novel? Fine. Vera works for UC Security, so he kept a lookout on their commnet for any Galbank chatter. I guess you could call him our early warning system. And Dombrowski made sure that all of the crypto manipulation I was working on didn't turn up in Galbank's automatic audits. You need top clearance for that kind of access, so we had to cut him in, whether we liked it or not. What do you think is going on? I'm using that gullible idiot to get what I want. If I have to squash him on my way to the top, then so be it. Let's get one thing straight. Larry Dombrowski's no saint. He deserves everything that's coming to him.
Hey, if that's what it takes to bring him down, why not?
Dombrowski is a piece of human garbage. He'd stab you in the back for table scraps, then stab you again to steal dessert. The plan's always been to milk the guy for everything he's worth, and then leave him in the dust. Not bad for a lowly Galbank worker drone, right? I wrote a computer algorithm that basically creates a randomized number of false ghost credits that mimic the crypto key of actual credits. Then the algorithm simply passes the ghost credits to whatever legit transfers that the bank transacts. The genuine credits enter a dummy account. The best part is that I also alter the crypto keys as the real cash flows into our accounts. By the time it lands in our pockets, the creds are clean. So, on paper, it appears that all of the bank's transactions are covered, when it's really just our ghosted dummy creds. Genius, right? I hope you hurt Dombrowski. Nail his ass right to the wall.
security situation, I need to get back to my duties.
An open bar would have been nice, but Trident's gouging us for every credit.
Please remember to obey all posted safety and mustering instructions.
I certainly hope they decide to hold all
Hello.
future society
You
events
here for the charity event? Oh, absolutely. I'm a firm believer that attending these types of events tends to absolve one of their sins and cleanse their soul. But something tells me you're not really here to discuss the event. What did you really want to talk about? Dombrowski, he's the exec holding court over in the VIP area of the ballroom. Yeah, sorry, I work for UC Security, not Galbank. I don't really know him personally. To be honest, I'm here to keep an eye on the charity event. It might not be as glamorous an assignment as a colony rescue or taking down some criminals, but anything that keeps the peace is important to me. What is this all about, anyway? You mean specifically? Oh, I work for the Corporate Fraud Division. We monitor all of the major megacorp financials and transactions to ensure that nothing improper occurs. You're asking a lot of strange questions. What exactly do you want? Claudia sent you, did she? Look, friend, I don't know if you're just a little drunk, maybe a touch crazy, or both. Whatever you think you know about me, you're dead wrong. So back off.
Really well done. You almost sounded believable. Almost.
Don't test me. You have no idea how high up the chain I am with UC Security. Not only can I make you disappear, I can also make sure the settled systems forget you existed in the first place. Worried? Why should I be worried? Anything you try to report will boil down to your word against mine. And since I work for UC Security, who do you think people will believe?
So what brings you aboard?
I saw your little exchange with Vera. Keep that up and I guarantee that imbecile's gonna demand that you be arrested. Which is why he's threatening you. That makes sense. We need hard evidence of their scheme. But it's gonna be tricky. The problem is he's not gonna talk to you in public. We need to get Vera isolated so he'll spill everything he knows. Maybe, but if something goes wrong and he's able to raise an alarm, we're sunk. With all of these wealthy patrons aboard, the ship is crawling with security. Smart. If there's an emergency, standard practice is for all passengers to clear the decks and report to their cabins for lockdown. I think the best chance we have would be to tamper with the life support sensors. Manipulate a few controls, and you can fool the monitoring system into thinking there's a life support failure. And there you have your emergency.
Just pointing out that life support supports life, like you and me. This is great.
Don't worry. It'll be as easy as it was mingling with the guests at the party. Just throw a few lousy switches and you're done. One more thing. If Chief Engineer Sundin gives you any trouble, tell him I'll erase that gambling debt he owes me. I prefer you use that as a last resort, but hey, what's the harm in losing a few credits when I'm on the brink of rejoining the fleet, right? Anyway, I better start packing. Things are getting hot around here, and won't be long before Trident figures out you had help. On the surface, he's an upstanding citizen of the United Colonies, pretty high up in UC security. Lots of clout with mast. Underneath, he's a greedy piece of garbage. Given the chance, he'd backstab you for a cret stick and pin the murder on someone else. Come to think of it, if he wasn't such a petty tyrant, he'd probably thrive with the Crimson Fleet. All passengers are instructed to immediately report to their cabins. That way, we keep the halls clear and avoid a panic. Fortunately for us, all of the passenger cabin doors will automatically unlock. This is normally to ensure the crew can check cabins quickly and without interference. But in our case, it's like having an all-access pass. There's access to the crew section that you can reach through the Starview Ballroom. Chief Sundin should be there, wasting time at his station as usual. Have fun with that guy. He's a real piece of work. Once you're past Sundin, just look for the room marked Environmental Control. Everything you need is inside. Get back to it.
The society chair is really outdone herself. Here for business or pleasure?
There's nothing quite like the
Between
view
you
from
and me,
Starfield Ballroom.
the best part of my job is when I crack it.
Hold up. This area is off limits to passengers. Wait a second. You're Captain Rokov's guest, right? Didn't expect to see you down here. Sorry to give you trouble. What can I do for you? Yeah, a little. A few of the techs call this deck the dungeon. I think you can see why. Not exactly Starliner-class comfort down here. Don't get me wrong. The quiet gives me time to gather my thoughts, catch up on work, and all that, but I'd rather work on the bridge. I'm the Siren's chief engineer. Trident put me in charge of the entire tech team. We do our best to keep the ship running smoothly and efficiently. Of course, this beauty is a cutting-edge piece of spacecraft design. Almost everything has triple redundancy, like the life support system. Unfortunately, that means there's quite a bit of downtime. Could be worse, though, right? Oh, sorry, that area's off limits. No exceptions. No, sorry, I'm afraid it's impossible. Trident regulations strictly prohibit anyone from entering the life support area without a valid reason. Look, I'm not trying to be a jerk here, it's just that I could lose my job, you know? Oh, really? Well, that changes things quite a bit. Tell you what, I'm just going to step out for a bit and stretch my legs. Maybe you can hold this for me while I'm away? Honestly, he's a seasoned ship captain. He told me he was a long hauler for years, and the experience shows. Only thing is, he's always talking about trade deals and plans for get-rich-quick schemes. It's all the guy ever thinks about. Why he decided to be a Starliner captain, I'll never know. It's almost like he craves being around money. Tell you what, though, for someone that loves credit so much, he sure doesn't mind gambling them when we play cards. Yeah, a little. A few of the techs called it. Don't get me wrong. I'm the Siren. Of course, this, unfortunately. Remember not to touch anything, please.
At least this looks like a ship. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they had maids do the round. here.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Oh, no more music? I was hoping to show my dance moves.
There's no cause for alarm. I'm sure this is...
All passengers are being asked to return to their cabins. This ship is in a state of emergency. Please return to your cabin.
I was wondering if you were the cause of the ship-wide emergency. It's time you stop playing games and tell me why you're here.
May I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly
Doesn't take a genius to deduce you're the one that's responsible. I locked onto you from the moment you entered the ballroom, and I've watched you trying to clock Dombrowski. After we spoke, I had a feeling you'd pull a stunt like this. You want me to help you? Are you completely out of your mind? I help you by handing over evidence, and I end up incriminating myself. Why would I do that? Claudia said that. You sure? Damn it! That means my money's already gone. And Dombrowski's going to walk away with a fortune. I'd love to see the bastard fry. But if I give you that information and it falls into the wrong hands, I could end up in jail. Dombrowski had the authorization to wipe out records on Galbank's system without raising any red flags. I let Claudia talk me into that. She said she had him wrapped around her finger. Apparently, she was wrong. Oh, I've got everything you're gonna need. This is a one-stop shop for you. We're talking a slate loaded with dates, account numbers, ID scans, even an audio recording. It was my little insurance policy in case the shit hit the fan. There's a solid enough trail here to send Dombrowski straight to jail.
passengers. May I have your attention, please?
At least I walk away with something. All right, you have yourself a deal. Here, with this slate and this recording to tie it all together, you'll be able to nail his ass to the wall. He'll do whatever you want. Just remember that you promised to leave me out of it. Well, since Claudia has been spending time disgustingly close to Dombrowski, I think she's suffered enough. On the other hand, I've got very, very special plans for Larry. I have some friends that can, well, let's just say, take care of the problem. That's if you leave him alive, of course. We'll just have to wait and see. All I can tell you is that there's more than a few people at Mast who find Commander Akande to be a huge pain in the ass. I mean, the UC is aware that the Crimson Fleet is a problem, but it pales in comparison to the issues with the Freestar Collective. Ikande's loaded with big-picture ideas, but not a ton of evidence to put them into action. And frankly, it's driving my superiors crazy. Wait a moment. Are you telling me that this scheme is getting so out of hand, it also involves the Crimson Fleet? That's all I need right now. Enemies on two fronts. Just because I'm helping you nail Dombrowski doesn't mean I'm turning my back on UC security. How else am I going to ensure that he ends up behind bars when all this comes crashing down? No. You can leave me out of your merry little band of pirates. Thank you very much.
The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Our security team would appreciate if you'd please shelter in your cabin during this emergency. Thank you.
Excuse me. Would you mind telling me exactly what the hell you're doing in my cabin? Am I hearing you correctly? You should mind your manners. Imagine pushing your way into my cabin uninvited and issuing such demands. It's a real emergency? Oh, my word. I thought this was a drill or some sort of nonsense. I thought I recognized you. Here, take my claim ID and take the award as far from this ailing vessel as you can. I know you'll keep it safe.
The Siren of the Stars is now in emergency status. Please remain calm and proceed to your cabin.
They're not taking any chances with the passengers. Good. Please. Not that I blame them.
All passengers.
Anything good in
Your
there?
attention, please. The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Well, well. You must be the one who's been accosting Claudia and Gabriel. I'm uncertain what you hope to accomplish here, but it appears we should rapidly enter into some sort of negotiation. You don't actually believe that I'd venture into such precarious criminal territory without a proper bird's-eye view of the situation, do you? I'm uncertain why you've become entangled in this spider's web, but this situation demands swift and resolute action. Excellent, excellent. So, before we begin, let's review the facts. First, It's clear that you've obtained insider knowledge of my arrangement to defraud Galbank. The means and the method, perhaps, but not the motive. And second, I'm going to hypothesize that my compatriots are despondent regarding their share and have assisted you with this endeavor. Since we're speaking and I'm not at the reporting end of a bullet, this leads me to conclude that you desire something personal from me. I pride myself on having an intensely thorough education, though I'd hardly call myself a professor. Though I'm sure that your compliment also meant you were having trouble understanding what I've been saying. In blunt terms, you have compromising materials about me in your possession. The only thing I have to offer in return are my Galbank credentials. I assume that's what you've been angling for all along?
You know, when my number gets called up, I hope I handle it like this guy. I'm impressed, really.
Well, I'm surprised you even posed that question at all. The answer is quite obvious. The last thing I'd want to do at this point is call attention to myself. Obviously, that wouldn't be my preference, but I have little choice. Though Larry Dombrowski will be mysteriously vanishing after this cruise, and possession of the credentials becomes ludicrous at that point.
All passengers, may I have your attention,
Splendid.
please?
Oh, it appears we've reached an accord. And may I say, it was a pleasure conversing with an intellectual equal. Oh, of course, I trust you'll understand if I ask for us to avoid any further contact. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to formulate how I'm going to utterly ruin two very annoying business associates. Good day.
Siren of the Stars is now in emergency status. Please remain calm and proceed to your cabin.
Well, looks like everything worked out, just like we planned. I wish you hadn't blown away the gambling debt that Sandine owed me. But hey, you got the job done. I'm glad you feel that way. Just remember to tell Delgado how much I pitched in to help. You know, I'm still wondering exactly what you needed those credentials for. You feel like telling me, partner? I usually have a nose for these things, but in your case, it's a mystery. Very frustrating. Whatever the case may be, it's apparently worth risking your life over. That's telling me it involves a lot of money. That also means I want in.
The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Of course. I understand completely. Anyway, I suppose there's nothing stopping me from rejoining the fleet now. It's been a long time coming. I owe you one, Dover Beach. Don't worry, it's not an insult. It's a very old Russian word for comrade. It's what I intend to call you from now on, so get used to it. Don't worry. You'll get what's coming to you. I promise. Well, I suppose this is where we part company. Hopefully the next time we meet, we'll be aboard the Key.
This ship is in a state of emergency. Please return to your cabin immediately.
captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Operation complete. Thrusters free.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please. Okay.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yuri.
Yeah, bank.
Hello. Welcome to the Galbank Archives. May I see your credentials, please? Just one moment while I verify. Oh, yes, Mr. Dombrowski. Welcome, sir. Give me a moment to log your visit, and then I'll unseal the archives. No, never, not at all. I'm so sorry. Hey, look, please don't mention this to my supervisor, okay? She'll give me a low rating, and I'm gonna end up scrubbing floors. Me? No. Look, this is my first day on the job. Just cut me some slack, okay? I can't afford to lose it. Got a wife and kids to feed. Everything checks out. Give me a moment to log your visit, and then I'll unseal the archives. There we go. Have a wonderful day.
Day, pal. Never mess with a code. Oh, hurts.
Grisly, but part of the job.
teach you manners.
Love.
Lack of love.
You want to kick back? Avoid the last.
Next time you see Bog, tell him to lighten up. Guy's got a real attitude problem.
Are you looking to start something?
Your buddy Rokov is aboard the Key. Told me everything that happened.
Yeah, he won't shut up about you. Keeps going on and on. Now I remember why we kicked his ass out the fleet. Still a lazy old bastard, huh? Can't say I'm surprised.
That's not exactly filling me with confidence, Rook, so I'm going to leave it up to you. Is Rokov in, or is he out? Works for me. He's out.
Good. Now we can finally get down to business instead of talking about that useless waste of space.
Speaking of which, let me see that data you copied from the Galbank archives. Ah, so the Galbank transport went down over Bannock 4. Bannock. Why does that sound familiar? Neva?
Yeah, keep your panties on. I'm looking it up. And I got it. Bannock 4. Let's see. Damn it. Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant. We can't even get a ship near the thing without frying every circuit aboard.
Whoa. EM class is an absolute no-go. There ain't a ship alive that can handle that.
Don't know that one, huh? Well, pick up your pencil. There's gonna be a test on this later. EM class means the planet is giving off a ridiculously high amount of electromagnetic radiation. We're talking off the charts here. Fly your ship anywhere near one of these death traps, and you'll blow every single circuit on your ship. You'd be dead in space. Get it? Yeah, Rook. Just like every other time we've gone on this worthless treasure hunt.
Both of you shut up and think for a second. I'm sure Creeks hit the same roadblock. All we need to do is figure out how he got around it.
This sounds like a goddamn waste of time to me.
No, this all makes sense. The data says the transport went down over Bannock 4, carrying currency during the Narian War. There were ships fighting across the entire galaxy back then. It's not that hard to believe this one got lost that far out from home. That's the spirit, Rook. That is the essence of the Crimson Fleet that has been slipping away lately. Neva, the Galbank data says the transport had a CBR-27 transponder. Can we track that kind of thing? Pinpoint its exact location?
That transponder is military grade. We're talking ultra-bit encryption, constantly reshuffling frequencies. We don't have shit like that laying around. But before you get that pissy look on your face, I heard that the UC's been working on a ship signal decryption system called the ComSpike. We grab that little beauty, and we'll be able to track anything you want.
All right, here is the plan, so shut up and listen. Rook, I want you and Neva to put your heads together and get us that ComSpike. I don't care if it's mounted at the top of mast. I want it. In the meantime, I'm going to find out more about this EM-class gas giant problem. And I think I know just who to ask.
Give me a little time to crunch the numbers on the ComSpike with Jazz, and I'll point us in the right direction.
We do or we die. That's the way Crix did things. And that is the way we should have been doing it for years. It's as simple as that.
I promise? You gonna write that in your diary, little girl?
All right, that is enough. We are in arm's reach of Crix's legacy, and I don't have time to deal with this kind of bullshit. Now, both of you, get the hell out of here and get to work.
All right, let's get this over with. Follow me.
Every captain here's earned their stripes, bleeding for the fleet.
Need something?
let's get right to it. Did you get the Earth Savior Award, or am I gonna be very disappointed? Well, that's because you'd be absolutely right. You see, everyone above you in the fleet is making more than you are off the same gig. That's why we're all fighting our way to the top. Understood? Good. Now, you might want to hand over that award before I have you tossed off the key. Just a thought.
First of all, this is my section of the key, so I'm gonna stand here for as long as I want. And second of all, I know all about that award and your deal with Neva. We don't keep secrets between us. Just throttle down and give her the damn thing already so we can get to work.
Well, well, look at that. You followed my directions, and now you're gonna end up with some credits in your pocket. Of course, it would have been more money if you hadn't blabbed about the damn thing to roll call, but that's on you. Anyway, here's your cash. Keep this up, and I might even start respecting you. All right, Fleet? We've all got work to do, so let's get to it.
Anything ship-related, you're at the right place.
If I had a billion creds, I'd run my own city.
Is Mina seeing anyone right now? We're on our own again. Let's see what there is to see.
Docking cycle complete.
Most of our operations team graduated top of their class.
So I heard there was a bit of excitement on the Siren of the Stars. Your handiwork, I assume? Nice work. Any specific evidence you picked up regarding criminal activity should be given to Lieutenant Toft after the debriefing.
If the evidence pans out, you can visit those alleged criminals in our brig the next time you stop by the Vigilance. But for now, what do you have on Delgado and his little ragtag group of pirates?
Yes, and I heard there were no casualties. Excellent work.
Except for the eclectic hit squad that you took down at the archives. We've taken care of that mess, by the way.
Speaking of which, I assume you copied the information from the Galbank's computers. Let me see what you got. So the Legacy went down at Bannock 4. Bannock 4. Why does that sound familiar, Toft?
Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant, sir. There isn't a ship in the fleet that could safely get near that type of world. The Bannock system was the site of a significant battle during the Narian War. I had to do a research paper on the subject at the Academy. Good. That should slow them down for a while. You're doing exactly what we told you to do. What, do you think we're stupid?
All right, calm down, Lieutenant. Even if Delgado has an immediate solution to the EM problem, there's still the matter of tracing the Legacy's transponder signal. I'm not certain. Galbank uses their own proprietary transponder system. Even a ship as old as the Legacy would be a challenge to trace. And even if we could find the ship, we don't have anything strong enough to resist those levels of EM radiation. Unfortunately, we're hampered by the same obstacles as the Crimson Fleet. They have information about the Comspike? Damn it.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that device, sir.
No, you shouldn't be familiar with it. It's a highly classified project. It's an advanced signal decryption and tracking device that the UC Navy's been working on for years. How the hell did the Crimson Fleet find out about that?
There must be an information leak somewhere, sir. It's the only thing that makes sense. I'll see what I can find out.
Fine. This is what we're going to do. You keep playing along and go after the Comspike. Lieutenant Toft and I will see what we can find out about Bannock 4. Perfect. Just stick with the plan and we'll see who gets to Krix's legacy first.
Siren of the Stars, huh? Pretty fancy for a pirate.